Hi guys, and welcome back to another Dark Roast review. And today I have a special feature, which is the band Die Ego with their debut album, Culto. So if you're into some black and thrash and all things old school, then stay tuned. Die Ego is a three-piece band from the UK consisting of guitarist Diego, bass player and frontman Gabe, and Dave on the drums. Fun fact, Gabe is actually also a fellow YouTuber like me. I'll leave a link in the description for you to go check out his channel. So this album is an interesting combination of a lot of elements including thrash, old school metal, even some new metal elements and black metal inspired moments as well, accompanied by very aggressive style vocals. It has insane guitar solos and really massive sounding drums. Inspirations including Pantera, Metallica, Iron Maiden, and the list can go on, Alice in Chains being another one. But anyway, let's get into this album. So, for the opening track, we have the song Culto, which is also the title track of the album. Opening tracks always are a bit of an overture. It sort of sets up the album. It gives a teaser to the whole album itself. But also to have it as your title track shows that you want to make a really big statement straight away. And this track does just that. It is heavy, it's aggressive. It starts off with a piano ballad and a sampling in the background of children playing or whatever. Goes into this aggressive riffs, very Pantera inspired, very dynamic track as a whole, with one of my favorite moments being on track itself when the bass and drums sort of do their own thing while there's this insane guitar solo over top. And overall, it's a very good start to the album. It tells me a lot about the band, it tells me a lot of their inspirations, and it also readies me for the music that is going to be coming. This continues on with the second track, Anger Is Yours, which is a very dynamic track and has a galloping verse section, and it has probably one of the most insane screams on the second chorus by Gabe himself, showing that he is capable of really insane feats of vocal ability. The track ends also with sort of a breakdown, then slows into more of a halftime feel, which is incorporating more sort of modern day elements of metals with the whole breakdowns and the best way to come is like the slam breakdowns in a way, with the slow hits. But overall, this was a great track. I really liked the chorus. It was very groovy, it was very catchy. Chord progressions as well used in it were really enjoyable to listen to. Sort of was a nice balance between the old school style of metal with a lot of modern day elements. So for the opening two tracks, it's a big win. I think it's a very promising album so far. Moving on to the more meat of the album, we have the song Demons Have Demons, which is a very heavy, groovy, has a lot of attitude as a song. It reminded me a lot of the song Painkiller a bit from Judas Priest back in the day. And that comes with the gnarly riffs, the vocal stylings of Gabe, even moments that had black metal sort of feel to it with sort of blackened thrash, harking back to like what I thought was kind of like Behemoth or Dissection. I also felt that at some points of this track, it actually went to more of a blackened feel and gave me sort of that reminiscent vibe of bands such as Behemoth or even Dissection, a sort of blackened thrash, blackened death metal. And it really fits with a band without being too abrasive or too much of a shift in tone. This blackened feel continues on to the next track, Treatment of Silence, with its dissonant chords, its melodies that it goes for. It really shows the diversity of what the band is capable of doing. Another track in particular I did like was the track There Is No Tomorrow, Opens with ambience, it has clean guitars, and a really interesting element which I quite like, which is the panning sort of stick hits on the drum. It's different, and it definitely makes you want to re-listen to it. I liked in this that it had those really dark choir vocals with Gabe sort of layering his voice, which is, you know, it adds a lot to a track. Gabe's vocals being very sort of Judas Priest, Pantera inspired. It's a really good combo. Really fits with his voice in his range that he is as a vocalist, and I'm really glad that he's only pushing that sort of vocal range instead of going into other areas where he might not be as comfortable. Whereas here, as a vocalist, he seems very comfortable. He doesn't sound like he's pushing himself, even though he's doing insane things with his voice. But yeah, that was just another point I'd like to make. Great vocalist as always. We also have a Judas Priest style guitar solo in here that is just, it was very nostalgic. It very much reminded me of the days of Screaming for Vengeance, Defender of the Faith, I think it was called. And yeah, overall just face melting. So yes, There's No Tomorrow, great track. I think that's definitely one of the highlights for me. Moving on, we have songs like To the Grave, Don't Get Close, I Promise. We're sort of closing out the album a bit now, and yeah, it's great moments in it where Gabe went sort of like the more Tom Araya route with the whole Slayer style vocals, the thrashing moments, the black and thrash moments. Another point to make was in the song Don't Get Close, they have the use of a wah pedal in the opening. Adds another flavor to the mix, and it makes it stand out more as a track. And then the album closes with the song I Promise. To have a good closing track, you have to, you got to make sort of a closing statement. It's got to leave something in your head for you want to go back and listen to the album again. It sort of acts as a climax as well as a resolution to the album. And then they do it in their own way here, which works as well. One in particular was, I liked how in the verse section they had this whole start and stop feel, where you'd have moments of where it just goes plain silent, which is quite nice. It creates tension in the track as well as sort of suspense. And I really like the chorus as well, where it goes very melodic and atmospheric, just to sort of break up the whole technicality of like guitar playing as well. Then the interlude is sort of a moment where like the guitar player is really using all the effects to his disposal. It's really fun to listen to, seeing like what he can come up with. The song ends, as well as the album ends, with feedback guitars and reverse cymbal, which just sort of ends kind of on a cliffhanger, but not really. So overall, this album is great. It's a perfect combination of the old and the new. It's dynamic. It has a lot for people to bite their teeth into. A variety of different styles combining together in a package that doesn't seem like one is used more than the other. It's sort of a whole symbiotic relationship. When it comes to the production side of it, I have no real complaints. The only main things is I just maybe wish the bass guitar was a bit louder to sort of bridge the gap between the drums and the guitar. But besides that, it was all around really good. The drums were massive, they were hitting hard. The guitar solos were piercing in the best way possible. Overall, it was a very enjoyable experience, and of course, the vocals again, soaring over top like the good frontman that he is. There's not much more I can say. It's a great album. To conclude, this is a solid debut record, very versatile with his writing. The album shows off the vocal capabilities of the frontman as well as the other members. This album also shows that they are definitely fans of the music that inspires them, and they write in such a way that it definitely shows without coming off as a bit of a carbon copy. Their performance range is ridiculous, varying from thrash to old school metal, doom, even black metal moments. I'm looking forward to see where this band goes in the future, because with what they've shown here, there's a multitude of areas they could go down. Regardless of that road they take, I'm sure they'll make exceptional music. If you enjoyed this review, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more content. Yeah, I'll leave the links below to where you can pick up their music. Besides that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.